Ninibang! And welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. So I'm coming back at you today with another comic book review. So this is the third in a 4-part series on the Transformers 84 Secrets and Lies, which is kind of a prequel to the Marvel comics that written by Simon Furman back in the day. Simon Furman back at the helm for this one as well through IDWCOMICS, and they basically mix up everything, give you some background on some characters that you didn't know before, fill in some plot holes, and basically have a good old time. As I said, this is the third one, so if you want to check out my reviews on the first one or even the second one, there's a link, should be appearing somewhere on your screen now. Also, I might do some links in the descriptions for these as well. I've got the full playlist, and I've also got a whole list of other comic book reviews, if that's what you're into, and figure reviews up on my channel. So give us a like, a share, and a subscribe if you're into Transformers. So I went with cover B on this. I did get a few options when I went into the store in Manchester, Forbidden Planet, but this was the one that I went with. This actually was the one that I wanted all along, so very, very happy to get this one. I think it's a fantastic cover. You've got Straxus there, Magnus, Fortress Maximus, and Springer all on the front. Love Straxus, definitely a very, very underused character, and this is just a beautiful cover there with massive Decepticon symbol on his base there, and it just looks on Dark Mount, I guess that is, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. Really, really cool. They've done a fantastic job with the cover here. I like the way that the Transformers 84 series has this kind of old school Transformers logo there as well. Absolutely chef's kiss. Mwah! If you remember where we finished last time, the epic battle between Shockwave and Grimlock had kind of come to an end, really, with Grimlock mashing up Soundwave into the side of a volcano, and he was hugely overpowered by the energon source that he'd kind of been infused with there. This one doesn't really start there at that point, so during this section here, again narrated by Double Dealer, who of course is the only person who can tell both sides of the story. So they're talking about basically Straxus now ruling over a large portion of Cybertron, and he is worse than Megatron with his smelting pots and places like that. We also see this kind of axis of evil here with Straxus, Scorponok, staying true to his kind of Marvel IDW style, that he's not a city former, he's just a kind of normal size Transformer there. And we also see Thunderwing here as well, so really, really cool. 3 very famous Decepticon commanders there within this storyline, which is absolutely awesome. And they're just kind of talking about what they need to do and what would happen actually if Megatron returned, and Straxus boldly says he will not. Then a Double Dealer comes in, and we're taken to the first time that we actually see his kind of place where he's smelting down all of the Autobots that won't follow his command, and then we see him on this ledge here with the Insecticons and also Double Dealer. So Double Dealer then goes and kind of runs and tells Ultra Magnus that things are getting a bit worrisome, a bit challenging here, and they need something. They need something a bit different to help them. They call up the Headmasters, but as we can see, Headmasters are in a really, really fearsome battle here. Looks really, really cool actually. And what's interesting here, and it's explained in the back, is that even though this is pre-86 movie, we see Cyclonus, and we see a Scourge here as well, even though it's pre-86 movie. So we see Cup as well here, who obviously become target masters, and we also see Chromedome, Hardhead there as well. So we see all the headmasters and some pretty early views of some people we didn't know we're going to be in this. And then also he says that we need something different, so you can see the wreckers on this actually starting to form. You see Impactor here coming in to speak to Magnus about forming the wreckers, shoots back over to Earth and Teletran, and you see Grimlock here scurrying towards Teletran 1, still hyped up from his energon. You can see it all coming out of his eyes, basically. Anti, who is the Teletran 1's kind of defense system, I think, for the Ark, then decides that it needs to protect itself, so rebuilds some of the bots that we see from season 2 for Transformers, but these we learn are kind of almost sparkless husks, so they almost have the personality and ideas and concepts, but they are completely sparkless, so they're not the actual bots themselves. They're just like drones, basically. And this is because, one, Grimlock is coming, but then secondly, also the Coneheads have woken up after Shockwave has put them to sleep. They've woken up and they now want to go and kick some Transformer tail and come down and try to defeat the Autobots. And they realize during this battle that something's weird, that no matter how much damage they do to them, the expression on their faces kind of stays the same. So they kind of realize that these are not the proper bots and defeat them as seemingly quite easy, until big bad Grimace Locus shows up. Also then, which is pretty cool here, after those bots are kind of getting defeated, the Guardian Protocol is entered. And if you are a Transformers fan since '84, similar to myself, then you will recognize these guys, because we've seen these guys before in the Marvel Comics. So you can see here, this is actually from the Transformers annual, but they appeared in Marvel Comics very, very early on as Guardians as well. I remember one of them removing their own head during one of the episodes as well. And that you can see, so they're really going all the way back into originals Transformers media here to kind of pick out some things that you may have seen before and just put them in. Then I thought maybe he'll have a larger role next, because one of the covers was this guy. We see Starsaber then battling it out, and Thundersaurus also makes an appearance as well. This, for me, hopefully he'll have a larger role next time. It just felt like it was just put in for the sake of having it in there, so that you've got all of these kind of iconic characters in there. And this is actually the first time that Starsaber has appeared in the Marvel Comics continuity, which is pretty cool, but it's just a bit odd because it just, like I say, it just feels like it's just a little squished in, a bit similar to the Headmasters, the way that they've just kind of appeared and then they disappeared. But like I say, it's bizarre because he has his own cover just on his own. So he has a little chat with Magnus again about how bad things are getting. Then Grimlock, of course, because he's all hopped up and hyped up and cracked out of his face on Energon, he is basically looking for a bust up. So he goes and fights with the Guardians, where he completely annihilates them. And this goes back to where I said about the head being removed on one of the Guardians. This image here, if this was like a pink plume here, this is the image that I kind of remember from the Marvel Comics. And then Grimlock basically then starts to realize that he's kind of done a bad one, because Auntie then activates her ultimate weapon, which is a kind of sparkless version of Megatron. to fight Grimlock to try and defend the base. So interesting takes here. It's a bit of an odd one. This probably, it's my favorite cover. We got some, like I say, we got some extra covers here. So that was the Star Saber cover that you could have picked up. Nice cover, but again, he's only in it very, very shortly. Nice Straxus there in the sword. I like that. That's the cover that I got. The other cover that I could have got would have been this one, which again I think is a pretty nice cover. Advert here for IDW Arkham Dreams. Then also again at the back, and this is something I really like on these comics, you've got Simon Furman's little footnotes at the end telling you how in each page relates to something in Marvel Comics, what plot hole it's answering, or why they've made this decision that they've made. Then there's a Redbone advert, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles advert, and an IDW Comics advert. So all in all, this is not the best of the three. This is, I definitely feel that the appearances of Star Saber and even the appearance of the Headmasters aren't the best. They do feel a little bit sandwiched in, like we wanted them in, so they're in. I feel it would have been better to concentrate on the actual two plot lines that are going on at the moment, rather than just have that. Looking forward to the conclusion of this. I wish it was a slightly longer series, because there's definitely more that I want to know, especially seeing as they keep introducing characters, just to kind of have them there for one page. But still, this has been a fantastic comic book series so far. So thanks for checking out my channel. This is a fantastic comic book series all in all. This has been the weaker of the three that have been released so far, but the other two were extremely strong, and it is a fantastic comic book series. So I do recommend you all pick this up. I think certainly next year they're all getting released in one graphic novel, so that's pretty cool as well. Well done again to the guys over at IDW. I do these kind of comic book and non-action figure reviews every single Monday on this channel. On Tuesdays I do a news section, and I also do Transformers news on a Saturday, and then Thursday or Friday on this channel you're always going to get a figure review from myself. So guys, if you like what I'm doing around here, give me a like, a share, and a subscribe. You can also follow me on the Instagrams, the Twitters, although I don't do very much there, but you can still give me a follow if you like, and I'll see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!